Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
I'll never forget
that moment.
As long as I live.
My first call-up ever as a member of the National Guard.
When we got to the armory, they briefed us on the wildfires. They were getting dangerously close to homes.
Helicopters were going out to drop water on the fires.
Guys in the unit were preparing for firefighting with local fire crews.
At that moment, I got my first taste of just how important the Guard is to my community.
See how the Guard can be an important part of your life at NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Florida National Guard. Aired by the Florida Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Talk 1470, WWNN Pompano Beach, WKIS HD3, Boca Raton, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
Download the iRadio Now app for iPhone or Android phones. Free at your iPhone App Store or Android App Market. Take AM 1470 WWNN with you wherever you go.
What do you want to be when you're older?
Hold on, it's like a deep question.
When I'm older, I want to be a singer. That's my goal.
I'm not sure I want to invent the supercomputer, but I definitely want to build the supercomputer.
I want to be an inspiration.
An organizer of like do-gooders.
I want to be a veterinarian. I want to help out animals and work with them.
I want to be a media mogul. Just rule the world.
When I'm older, I want to be anything but the one that doesn't fit in, the one that people don't love.
Everyone deserves a dream.
Everyone.
But some of us are depressed,
anxious,
scared,
angry,
alone.
Don't feel like ourselves.
We can't even focus on the present, much less the future.
If that's you, say something.
It's okay to talk. It's okay to share. It's okay to get help or help someone.
Talk to someone. It helps. And people will listen. Add your voice at oktotalk.org.
oktotalk.org.
Brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Attention men, the Office of Dr. Matthew Leaf is conducting clinical research on men with low testosterone and symptoms of low energy, low sex drive, or ejaculation issues. To find out more, call 954-755-3801. Once again, if you have or think you might have low testosterone and any of the symptoms described, call 954-755-3801. You may be compensated for your time, and all study-related blood work, examinations, and testing is included. So call 954-755-3801 to find out more about the low testosterone studies.
My family and I just got back from a vacation in Florida that was more awesome than anything I could imagine. Imagining stuff is like my job at this age. Yet, there I was, talking to dolphins like I had superpowers. I even found something better than ice cream. Astronaut ice cream. They eat it in space. A vacation more unbelievable than my imagination must be the sunshine.
How do you make your vacation this epic? Find out at visitflorida.com.
I'm a third grade teacher. I'm a school bus driver.
I am a parent.
I am a teacher's aide, and I agree to be identified
as a caring adult who pledges to help bullied students.
I will listen carefully to all students who seek my help
and act on their behalf
to put an immediate stop to bullying.
I will work with other caring adults to create a safe
learning environment for all the students in my school.
In my school.
In my school.
In my school.
I'm Dennis Van Rokel, President of the National Education Association. Help us create safe, bully-free learning environments for all students. One caring adult can make all the difference. Be that adult and take the pledge at NEA.org/bullyfree. Adults have the power to stop bullying in our schools.
It starts with me.
It starts with me.
It starts with me.
It starts with me.
Bully free. It starts with me.
Visit NEA.org/bullyfree. A message from the National Education Association.
What you want to know. What you need to know.
Talk 1470. WNN.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of the station, its staff, management, or sponsors. Welcome to the Golf and Travel Show, the place to fine-tune your swing, dress for the course, club, or cruise, and get tips on the best places to play and stay at the right price. Vacation or staycation, host Dan Shub, along with his expert co-hosts and guests, will tell you where to go. To play golf and vacation, that is. Now, here's Dan.
And welcome to another edition of the Golf and Travel Show. And I'm Dan Schub, your host. And tonight, like every other Friday night, we're going to talk about some golf and we're going to talk about some travel. And we always have some great information, hot tips for everybody, and some wonderful guests, and tonight is no exception. We're going to have some great guests tonight, which will include, in just a short few moments, teaching professional Barry Goldstein, also Jennifer Fernandez, who's the Director of Events and Content for Specialty Travel Forums, and a little bit later in the show, we'll be talking to Jeff Adam, who's the Director of Sales for Down Under Answers and Africa Answers. So we'll be talking a little bit about Australia, a little bit about Africa. But first, as always, I want to introduce everybody to my wonderful and knowledgeable co-hosts. And I think Jerry is on her way in. Oh, here she comes. And that's Jerry's ride, and that's Jerry Augustine. And Jerry brings to us over 25 years of experience in the service and hospitality industry. She's currently the president and the owner of Sea Dreams Travel, located in beautiful Jupiter, just up the road a bit. And at Sea Dreams, she's that concierge who can create the perfect vacation for you and your family. Sea Dreams has a very knowledgeable staff that's traveled the world, and her tagline, "Your World, Your Way," is exactly what Sea Dreams is all about. And when you listen to the Golf and Travel Show and listen to what Jerry has to say, she will prove to you every week how booking travel yourself is not your best or easiest route. How you doing tonight, Jerry?
I'm great, thanks. Thanks for asking. Hi, everyone. Hi, Jess.
And that ship you come in, how they park that in here, I'll never know, but it's quite
magic.
It is the magic, not magic bus, magic ship. Have to have a new song, the Magic Ship. And also, oh, there she goes, but she'll be back. And my other co-host is also here in the studio with me. And he's got that perfect swing, and that's because my co-host Jess Frank is a PGA teaching professional and the owner of the Jess Frank Golf Academy at the beautiful Boca Dunes Golf and Country Club in wonderful Boca Raton, where we're sitting right now. We could probably just about see them out our window. And Jess specializes in on-course instruction with V1 video analysis, and he believes that every lesson and swing is different. Just likes to focus on the scoring part of your game, the short shots that are taught on the golf course, and that instills confidence. Some of you may know him from his work at area clubs such as St. Andrews, Boca Lago, and Broken Sound, and just loves to teach and has a passion for the game because golf is challenging, but just makes it easy for you to learn and excel, and he has plenty of tips which he shares with you every Friday at this time. How you doing?
I'm doing excellent. Thanks, Dan. Good evening, Dan and Jerry, and all of our listeners out there. Another beautiful day in Boca Raton, Florida.
Yeah, for any of our listeners that are not local to Florida, too bad. Come visit. You know, that's what you got to do. Yeah, this is the time of year that, for the most part, we've got some of the best weather in the entire country, especially if you're a golfer. And if you're a vacationer or a traveler, you better work real hard to make sure wherever it is that you're going isn't worse.
Okay, nothing to shovel out there.
No, I got to tell you, I try very carefully. I travel some on pleasure and some on business, and I hate going north this time of year. If I'm going to travel anywhere, it's got to be further south, I think.
Exactly. Bermuda, right, Jerry? That's where we take a trip to.
I think so. But even Bermuda, I'm not so sure about this time of year. It might be a little bit chilly even this time of year.
It's chilly. If this is not their season, no.
Because it's Bermuda.
It starts around end of May.
Even though it's a beautiful island and they do have the Gulf Stream to keep them warm, it's as north as, what, about like the Baltimore area?
It's Carolinas, right on the coast of the Carolinas.
Yeah, so it's pretty far north. But we'll get there one day, all of us.
Well, I wouldn't.
And our listeners.
I would not have traded to be anywhere except Boca.
Right here.
Today.
Exactly.
Today was gorgeous.
So I'm assuming that today you were out there working with some of your students.
Absolutely.
And there probably was a theme or something of importance that you gleaned in your work today that you want to share with our listeners?
I'll tell you what, Dan. I mean, I love my profession. It is so much fun, and it really does. And I got the pleasure, and we'll speak to him a little bit later, Barry Goldstein, who's a great teacher, and we were down for a golf day on last Sunday. But, we just get such joy out of helping people improve their games. I mean, it's just no matter what we do, if we can help somebody hit the ball a little bit better, have a little bit more fun, and leave our lesson wanting to come back and wanting to go play. I mean, that just, it kind of gives me chills. I mean, not from the weather today, but it was just, it makes you feel really good.
And somehow I have to believe that there's not a single student that you can't make that happen with any day. There's always something that everybody can learn and do better and be happy about, right?
Absolutely. Golf is, don't get me wrong, golf is a very challenging game, and Jerry, you're going to be next on the list, but I
can't wait.
It's a process. It's a lifelong game. It's a lot of fun, and you learn in little steps. But it's just really it's truly wonderful to help somebody. And today, I mean, I worked with 4 different people, and they were all had a little different issue. And if you can clear something up for someone and help them hit the ball a little more solid and play a little more consistently, I mean, that's just all what it's all about. And today was gorgeous. I mean, it doesn't get better than today. 65 degrees, no wind, just sun's out, beautiful day.
Chamber of Commerce weather.
Chamber of Commerce, it was. But as you know, and what we talk about every week, I try to give a little something, little tip out there to help people maybe play a little better golf. And we're going to the PGA show next week.
Yeah,
and
I can't wait.
That's going to be a lot of fun. And one of the things that I do a lot of club fitting as well, and I fit all the different manufacturers, but actually TaylorMade, their president and CEO Mark King, they just had a nice article in them about in Sports Illustrated, and he was talking about how to grow the game and how to make it more fun. And one of the things that he came up with that he wants to do is put 15-inch cups on the golf course.
I've heard of that.
Yeah. So I thought that was kind of cool. And anything.
And that's not the ones with the beer in it. You're talking about the ones with okay.
in the green.
That would be good for me.
Yeah, exactly. And what I like about that is that it instills confidence in people, even though the cup is bigger, but it teaches them that the ball keeps rolling in the hole time after time. It builds confidence. And one of the things that they talk about in this article with him is that he actually brings in psychologists into TaylorMade to help his executive level people really focus. And he wants to grow the game. He wants to make the game more fun and better for everyone. And so I really like that. And one of the things, and there are golf psychologists out there. But
I know several of them.
And I think sometimes we all need them a little bit. And it goes right into the game, and it puts you in a positive frame of mind, thinking about good thoughts, and also the fact that you want to focus on what you want to do, not what you don't want to do. Like you don't want to say to yourself after you get up over the ball,
don't hit in the water. Yeah, you say it to your partner when you're playing with the money, though, right?
And that's what separates the really good players from the average amateur, because of the fact that they're focusing on the negative, not the positive. And that's what I try to bring to my lessons as well. I always focus on the positive. So when they're taking a lesson, they hit a solid shot, I tell them, I said, that's a solid shot, that's a great shot. And so it was really kind of neat to see that. And what I like about it is that each shot that you hit that's solid, it makes a positive deposit in your mental bank account. And so when you start seeing that over and over again, and people say, and they smile, and they feel, I said, how'd that feel? Really good. So I said, let's keep doing that. So, and what I like to see is that, and I start with the short clubs and pitching, I like to see them hit a bunch of solid pitch shots next to the hole. And so when I get them doing that, it's, it really kind of grows into your entire game. And so, and if I have to give a golf tip tonight, which I will, it's the thing that I see in a lot of players, and in fact I saw it very common over the last couple weeks and years. So it's a poor release, and what I mean by that is if you're a right-handed golfer, okay, and you swing through the ball, what happens a lot of times is that your left hand stays on top of your right hand after the ball. So it almost becomes like a chicken winging fact, where your left arm starts to creep away from your body. And so my favorite...
and typically, I guess, a right-hander, that's the slices
exactly.
in your
That's the slice,
finishing, right?
That's the top shot, that's the the inconsistency, and because what happens is the club face actually comes off, or the club head comes off the ground, and so you can top it, and you're actually hitting it on an ascending angle. And in golf, the ball's on the ground, you want to be hitting on a descending angle because you want to compress the golf ball. And so my tip for tonight is taking, for a right-handed golfer, if you take your left arm, you swing it back across your chest and then back through, what you want to do is you want to turn your left palm to the sky. Like, well, today it wasn't raining, but if it was raining, you'd be catching the raindrops in your left hand. And that is something that I learned from a couple really top-tier professionals. Martin Hall originated with Paul Berthley. Mm-hmm. But as I come through, what happens is that closes the club face. That actually works on your release, and a really good tip that will help if you're slicing, something that could really, really help your game.
Well, that's good. 'Cause I actually went out with my son to the driving range the other day, and he was having that issue. He was hitting the ball really far, but then at the end it was tailing off to the right. Yeah. And again, I'm not a teaching pro. I was trying to give him some tips or whatever, but what you just said probably would do the trick.
Yeah, because it directly relates to the club face, and that's what sends the ball in the direction it's going.
And when you were talking about also those sounds, I know that when you're out there at the practice putting green as well, that they always tell you make sure that you leave by sinking a couple of putts, even if it's 4 inches from the hole, whatever, so you can hear the sound of that ball dropping, and that should be the last thing you hear when you walk away and head to that first tee.
That is so good for you.
There it is right there. Oh, I love it. All right, well, thank you so much for your tip for today.
My pleasure.
And
Thanks,
we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Sounds good.
And we are back, and Jess, I think you have a word from one of our sponsors, don't you?
Absolutely, and if you play golf, or if you want to learn golf, I have the perfect place for you, and it's at Boca Dunes Country Club, a great golf course located in Boca Raton, one of the best-kept secrets in South Palm Beach. Boca Dunes offers 2 courses, a championship par 72 and a par 3 executive course. Both courses are a challenge for all skill levels. Boca Dunes and Golfsmith are teaming up for a demo day Saturday, February 15th from 10 to 2 at the Boca Dunes driving range, and there will be many vendors so you can demo clubs and see the latest in golf. There's a putting green and snack shop, all open till 10 p.m. We have lights out there. And if you've never played Boca Dunes, come and see for yourself what a great course this is. Located at 1400 Country Club Drive in West Boca Raton, or check out their website at bocadunes.com. For additional information or to book your tee time, call the Pro Shop and speak to Tammy, 561-451-1600, extension 101. It's a great place to play.
Yeah, we're going to be playing out there pretty soon, I think, with that our little giveaway winner, so we're going to have to set that up soon.
Absolutely.
But, speaking of insights, lessons, tips, I know that we have a guest on the line who's got all sorts of wonderful golf information that you were telling me a little bit earlier about, but now it's time to share it with all of our listeners, so why don't you have the honors of the introduction?
And this gentleman is all I have to say is he's just awesome. He's an awesome person.
He's got a can of awesome with him.
He's an awesome golf instructor. He loves to give back. He's the top 25 Golf Tip Magazine senior instructor. He's been on Golf Academy Live. And he's also an Edwin Watts top instructor. He's the director of instruction at Inverary Country Club. And I'd like to welcome Barry Goldstein on the show. Good evening, Barry.
Hi, Jeff. How are you?
I'm excellent, Barry. Say hello to Jerry and Dan.
Hello, Jerry. Hello, Dan.
Hey, Barry.
Hello, Barry.
Welcome to the show. Now you can say that not only were you on the Golf Channel, but you were on the Golf and Travel Show, too. So you can add that to your resume.
No, it's my honor. Anything from my friend Jess. I've done a lot of national stuff. It's cool to do something right here in South Florida. So, my pleasure.
Well, it's great to have you.
And I was extremely lucky. Barry Barry's very generous. He loves to give back, and he's had so much success, and he has so much knowledge, and I love to learn, because I figure that, and I told Barry this before, the only way that a really good golf instructor can learn is from learning from the best. And so Barry had a golf pro day last Sunday, and an even bigger treat. And sorry, Barry, but you weren't the biggest star there. I think your daughter Carly Ray was there, and she was awesome. And it was really a pleasure being out there with you.
Well, thanks, Jess. You know, I used to be somebody until my daughter grew up and became a star. But yeah, it was a lot of fun having you guys, and I just feel like I've been really blessed and fortunate, and I've had some incredible experiences in my career. And I like sharing it with people that are on their way up and learning like you are. And, you know, I haven't been as lucky as me yet. And I loved having you guys there, and it was my pleasure. It happened to be a great group of guys that spent the day with me and my daughter.
Yeah, and it was a beautiful day. And, you know, I really enjoyed watching Carly Ray swing the golf club and hit shots. And not only is she an extremely talented player, she's just a great person. And it's she's, you know, just like her dad. And unfortunately she has a sister. I didn't get to meet her, but I'm sure I will. But and I have to say, you know, now Barry's known as Carly Ray's dad. So but
the first time I did the Golf Channel way back in 2002, she was like 7, and she sat behind the cameras and watched me film it. The first time I heard, "Oh, are you Carly Ray's dad?" I was out in Pebble Beach watching my daughter play on national TV with Nick Price and Andy North, and she was tearing it up. She birdied 6, 7, and 10 on TV on the ocean.
Wow.
And I was just watching, and someone said, "Hey, you're Carly Ray's father, right?" And I just thought, wow, now that's a first.
Yeah, but you know what? As parents, don't we always want our kids to achieve more than we achieve? So, I mean, that's perfect, I would think.
Yeah, you know, Jess, what you said about her being a great person, that's you know, I raised her by myself, so that's just a huge compliment. But, you know, as far as golf goes, Carly's a product of working. She's worked smart and hard for a long time, and, you know, I've been her teacher, her mentor, her coach, and, you know, things have paid off for her, you know, and we're going to keep doing exactly what we've been doing. And I've taught a lot of successful players, PGA Tour players, LPGA Tour players, Division I college players, and I don't know, my daughter just has a little bit of something sprinkled on her that's special.
And I loved what you said on Sunday about being, you're not just a teacher, you're a professional golf coach. And so explain what that is exactly to our listeners, and how you brought Carly Ray along and as her golf coach.
Gosh, Jess, you're a good learner, because I think, to be honest, most people, they just teach golf. They give a swing tip, take it back this way, do that, you know, and that's fine. That's going to last for all of an hour or two, you know, but I definitely have been a coach, and I like coaching players. I mean, I like coaching them on mental attitude, nutrition, exercise, and everything to do with their golf game. Chipping, putting, bunker play, pitching, full swing, routines. So what I've done with Carly from the time Carly Ray, when she was a little girl, has always practiced the same routines. She's always practiced the same exact way ever since she's a little kid. And it's, you know, it's kind of like a discipline thing, Jess. If you do it the right way all the time, good things occur.
Absolutely, and just repetition, and she was extremely disciplined, and I love the way she set up her practice routine, and that how she divided it up, and also, you know, she spends, and what most people don't realize is that, you know, she spent maybe 15-20 minutes hitting balls on the range, but then the majority of your practice comes in the short game and the putting, and so, and as you know, that's where the top players excel.
Just to be 100% honest with my daughter, we have spent way more time on the golf course and on the chipping, putting, and bunker area than we ever have on her full swing. Now, don't get me wrong, we definitely work on her full swing. We've worked on it hard since she's 7, 8, 6 years old, you know, but I would say that's 25% of being a really good golfer. I mean, if you can hit it great and you can't chip, putt, pitch, bunker play, if you don't have good routines, if you don't have a knowledge of how to play the game of golf, you could have the best swing in the world, and you're still not going to be a great player.
And you know, another thing that I really can appreciate, and getting to a high level, you have to be just solid mentally. You can't be thinking negative. And so explain to me and our listeners, just how you instilled that in Carly Rae.
Well, I would have to say you just touched on the biggest gift that the champions of the game have, and my daughter happens to be a player that's won 100 golf tournaments. I would say being positive, looking at the next shot as something good. That's kind of just the way we are off the golf course, but we make a concerted effort to be that way on the golf course, I would say my daughter has a gift with her demeanor in that regard. You've got to be positive. You've got to think the next shot's going to be a good one. If you hit a poor shot, you have to have the ability to leave it behind and move on. And we've worked on that since she's little. It's not an accident. And it's funny, we even can fake it, Maybe you're not the best mood. Maybe you're not playing well. But if you fake it to yourself, things are going well. Next shot's going to be great. It's amazing how things can turn around. And I think my daughter is a product of, I'm a pretty happy, positive human being off the course, and we've done that on the golf course.
Yeah, and you keep her in such a positive mental frame, and you just instill that attitude in her. And I think that directly, comes from you. You just don't get that, naturally. You have to have somebody that believes in you, and then you can believe in yourself.
Wow, you're a very bright guy, Jeff, because I would have to say, you just hit the nail right on the head. And if there's one thing I've always done with my daughter, I don't know if there's anything on earth I believe in more than her. She lives the right way. She does everything correctly. She deserves success, and I've always told her that since she was little. So what you just said, Jess, it's not an accident that she's that way. I started calling her champ before she ever even played golf. You borrow things from people. I remember Johnny Miller said his father started calling him champ when he was just a tyke. And he goes, I thought I was the greatest at everything I did because my dad made me feel like a champ. Well, I've done that with my daughters, and Carly has just got her head in a good spot, and I don't want anybody getting in their head because that's where the gift is, No,
absolutely, and you do it with both your daughters. From what I've learned from you, is that Aubrey and Carly Rae.
That's very nice of you, Jess. I've taught some great players. I've been very fortunate to teach 2 PGA Tour winners, LPGA Tour players, and you wean and pick what you like from each player. And I notice the ones that are positive and look at things in a good way are the ones that last. The ones that are super talented but have demons in their head, they're negative, life is no good, they don't last long. Mm-hmm. So, you got your choice to make, and we chose to go the other way.
Yeah, and how would you pass that along to the average 15 handicap golfer? And I give a golf tip every week, and this is
wait. What I want to say is what about the rest of us that aren't fortunate enough to have the genetics and to have a parent that can do this, who have parents that didn't play golf at all, and we're kind of out there on our own.
Barry,
so
give something to Dan. Give something to Dan, and Jerry actually is going to start learning. So,
adopt me.
Yeah, give Dan something that he can hold on to.
All right, let me give you guys something you can hold on to. The first thing I would do is somebody that was looking for confidence is I'd play the ball off a tee every time she's playing it until she learns how to play golf. I want her having confidence. When my daughter was little, talking when she was a young golfer, she'd hit her drive down the middle, I'd tee the ball up in the fairway. I want her to see the ball fly. I don't want her to see herself hitting ground balls. I'd have her practice a lot of 2 and 3 foot putts to hear the ball rattling into the bottom of the cup. I don't want her to practice missing 30-footers. Another thing that you could do that you guys can run with, hit clubs that are easy to hit. Jerry, you're new to the game, I take it, correct?
Yes, I am. All
right, Jerry, here's what I would do if you were my student. I would have you hit a lot of clubs with a lot of loft. Your pitching wedge, your 9-iron, your 8-iron, your 7-wood. Because I want clubs that are easy to hit, because I want to build your confidence. I don't want you to hit clubs that are tough for Jess and I to hit, let alone for a beginner. If that makes any sense.
Definitely. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. And another thing I would do, whatever golf clubs you choose, I would make certain they're women's clubs that are easy for you to get lost on. If you play a club that's too heavy and too stiff for you, golf's going to be frustrating. It would be like if I was playing a club that was super too flexible and whippy for me. You need to get something that makes the game a little bit easy, Jerry. And I'm all about making the game fun, and I think it's a lot of fun when you see the ball fly. I think it's a lot of fun when you see the ball go in the hole. And so, I don't get to teach too many people that are ranked beginners anymore, although I love to. boy, I'm big on having them start out successful. And, you know, if Jess is going to be your teacher, you're in good hands. Jess is my friend. I really like Jess, and he's learning from good teachers. Jess is smart. He's addressing his career correctly. And he's learning from guys like me that have been doing it for a long time and have had some success. He's not just hoping to be a good teacher. He's going about it the right way. And that's what I would do, Jerry. I would want you having success quickly.
Thank you.
That's awesome, Barry. That thank you so much. And that's coming from a guy